again. So, we are going to play some more Doki Doki Literature Club. It's getting a little, confusing. A little weird. Very confusing. We left off with, reading people's poems. We read Monica's, the, president. Now I think we're going to read Yuri's, who is now the vice president, but wasn't the vice president before. But we're going to read hers next. So, Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face into her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to the new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very that word. In other words, they tend to pick up writing styles separate from the topic matter and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it really comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. N can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I should be talking about other people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to N. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. Oh, you're actually going to let me read your poem today. Okay. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamingly as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? All right. Ghost under the light. The trindles of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Claims, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I think we read that last time or at one point. I'm so sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. I was just thinking that I'm dyslexic and it takes me a good hot minute to look at those words to make sure I'm reading it right. But it took a long time for you to read because I'm dyslexic. I said that exact thing last time too. Deja vu. Even the game has me repeating things, making me think I haven't said them. It's already gotten me. The virus is already in my brain. It's already happening. Well, I just don't read the script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was very descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest. I supposed, are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Milo. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all, but remember that poems often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of her past, and soon to be left without nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. She's a lot more positive and easygoing than last time, but still. Okay, well, let's start with things I don't like. First of all, Anne rereads my poem. Never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how you said I wanted to read your poem? How I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha! Well, it's not that great, but let me show you what a real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. Do I not get to read your poem? So in other words, you're saying you liked it. In something in the throat. You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I said that mostly to myself. Anne must have really hated me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Fine, I guess. Okay, because Monica will make me if I don't. I didn't see it last time. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. I remember reading that one too. Yeah, I told you that you weren't going to like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of the poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you doing great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for rhyme at the end, but then made it all fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling of the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Why do I keep thinking something's... I probably moved my mouse and nothing was happening back there. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if N is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Okay. Phew, I guess that's everyone, except for my neighbor. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I end up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and N. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. In eyebrows, fury and frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Anne dismissively returns the poem to the desk and with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks? Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can you be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. It was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Milo did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Milo liked my poem too, you know. He even told me that he was impressed by it. In suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Milo appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would be deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew size bigger as soon as Milo started showing up. And that was a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. You really act as young as you look in. Me? Look who's talking about. Ah! Edgy? Sorry, that my lifestyle is too much someone middle age compares. See? Just say that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can... Where's she going? Toxic personality about dressing up and acting cute. The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Oh, okay, they're kind of fading. Well, be careful or you might cut yourself out of the edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad, you already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the F is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Milo hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly Yuri turns towards me as if she noticed I was standing here. Milo, she's just trying to make you look bad. That's not true. She started it. Yuri! Hi. Oh, she's in front of him. Monica? Hey, Milo. Why don't we step outside for a little bit, okay? Okay. Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Sub president I am. I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just see if my neighbors hadn't suddenly disappeared, everything would be fine. But no, she's gone for some reason. Do you know anything about this? You're acting very odd and saying that she doesn't exist. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes, but I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, In runs out of the classroom. Oh, she's crying. Nope, she quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're all done. Oh, so if I would have chose the other one, she would have stayed? Is that how this works? Oh boy, okay. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to In. Or did. Milo? Please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure In will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. Yuri. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm the vice president, so please let me take the responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Milo. And it would just be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate... Okay. Y'all still good? Are you all still there? Are you all a glitch too? Is this real? Okay, let's write a story. Let's write a story. My brain feels a little broken today. It's in a whirlwind of chaos from all the tragedy that seems to be occurring with all the anxiety that is also happening as we continue. But hopefully the adventure will continue to be fun and not uncontrollable. And I hope the climax is not coming to an end with all the intellectual and precious and promising and shiny. I was waiting for friends or something, but bed. Once I go to bed, everything will just be a bliss. There's friends! Be a bliss in my warm and comfy bed. And I will jump for joy when a party happens in the next meeting. And maybe there will be bunny cupcakes this time with rose icing on the side. I love whenever there's icing it's the shape of roses because I love icing on cake. I will eat all the icing before I eat the cake. And sing happy songs and watch anime. There we go. There we go. I'm scared. Alright, another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple of days. Entering the club room, as usual, scene greets me. Welcome back, Milo! Welcome back, Half Yuri! Hi, Yuri. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's Yuri's expression. What expression? We just have a side view of things. But the weight of yesterday's quarrel still hangs in the air a little bit. Hi, there you are! Alright, Yuri glances over the shoulder, looking around the room. In is reading manga at the desk, and surprisingly, Monica isn't here yet. Suddenly, Yuri takes my arm and pulls me to the corner of the room. About yesterday, I really need to apologize. Nothing like that has ever happened before, and something just came over me, I guess. I wasn't acting mentally sound. Please don't think we're usually like this. Not just me, but In as well. Yuri, I'm happy that you were considerate and apologized. You didn't have to worry too much. Even though I've only been here a couple days, I could tell something was off yesterday. Maybe we were just a little extra sensitive because it was our first time sharing poems. But whatever it is, it didn't make me think any less of you. I had already decided that there's no way you could be a bad person. And now that you're apologizing, I know you really didn't mean it. Milo, don't say those kinds of things so frankly. They make me a little too happy. I'm really glad that you're such an understanding person, and I'm really glad that you joined this club. Everything is a little bit brighter with you around, and, sorry, what am I saying right now? Hey, you guys seen Monica? No, I haven't. I was also kind of wondering where she was. Man, Yuri, I'm guessing you haven't either. Yuri's clearly taken aback by how calm In is addressing her. No, I haven't. Geez, this isn't like her at all. I know it's stupid, but I can't help but worry a little bit. What? Why are you looking at me like that? In, about yesterday, I just wanted to apologize. I promise I didn't mean any of those things. And I'll do my best to stay under control from now on. So, Yuri, what the heck are you talking about? Did you say something yesterday? Huh? Jeez. Whatever's on your mind, I'm sure it was nothing. I don't even remember anything bad happening. You're the kind of person who worries too much about the little things, aren't you? But I'll accept your apology anyway, if it helps you feel better about it. Besides, it's kind of nice to hear, since I was always afraid you secretly hated me or something like this. No, not at all. I don't hate you. Ah, well, you're kind of weird, but I don't hate you either. In turns to me. You're still on trial, though. Hey! Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Nah. Well, In was. I was not. Ah, what took you so long anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. And to be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. Ah, that makes no sense, though. You would have at least heard the bell ring. At least. I must not heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica. Don't give me more credit than I deserve. I guess I've been practicing for a while, but I'm still not really good yet. Still. That must require a lot of dedication. So I'm still impressed. Aw, well thanks, Yuri. You should play something for us sometime. That's... Monica looks at me. Well, I'm working on writing a song, but it's not quite done yet. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. That sounds cool. I look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Milo. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I was hoping that I could share it with you anyway. I guess that's why I've been practicing so much recently. I see. I'm not sure if Monica was referring to the whole club or just me. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? Not really. I chose not to bring up anything that the three of us talked about. Besides, In has already run off into the closet. Milo, since your compliments put me in a good mood, I was wondering if you would like to spend some time together today. I mean, in the club. I suppose so. I don't think I could say no to you after you gave me the book. Well, I guess I need to make sure In isn't waiting for me. After we finished reading yesterday, she's fine. She's reading over there, see? Don't think about her so much. She's used to being ignored. Come on, we're going over there. Yes, Yuri. I am not... Sorry, my leg is cramping and falling asleep. Okay. What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Patriot of... Blavkark, I think. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them too. Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Are you not a fan of this sort of thing, Milo? No, it's not that. I mean, I could definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a different, strange, new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly, I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then, but I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books or writing fill my thoughts, my whole body gets I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I could do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Yes! I will read it right now. I mean, you don't have to. I feel like I have to after you glitched like that. What are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put in my bag. All right. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in the company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start to prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. Oh, I'm sorry. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe it's a little distracting, but I feel it's somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri... You really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here. This should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean a little bit closer, our shoulders almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Aww, a cute little adorable moment. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. I do the same thing with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under the thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddling even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again. Our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own... Okay. We continue the first chapter to silence. Nothing happened. I just got dyslexic and letters were moving. Sorry. Even so, sometimes it's fine. I can read... Sorry, I feel like I need to explain myself. Sometimes I can read it fine and glance through, and then other times the words just kind of poop, or they just kind of swell up too big. Anyway, even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Huh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if she could feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Milo? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Ah, don't worry. I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Should we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd start without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip it back into my bag. Alright then. I'll start with you this time. Well, it's not terrible, but it's pretty disappointing after your last one. Then again, if this one was as good as your last one, I'd be completely pissed. Well, I guess I wanted to try something a little different this time. Fair enough. You're still new to this, so I wouldn't expect you to find your style right away. I mean, everyone in the club writes really differently from each other. Maybe you'll find a little influence from all of us. For instance, I noticed that you were spending some time with Yuri today. Not that I care who you spend your time with. After all, I was taught never to expect anything from anybody. So it's not like I was waiting for you or anything. Sorry, my nose really itches. Still, you should at least look over my poem. You'll probably be able to learn something from it. I love where you put Boz in the third line. And you really got me by the 211, and I guess that's the 6th line, the very end. But I'm a bit confused about the section where you put YXNLCM, especially the CM in lowercase. But I think I'm understanding. Your poem. Milo, why didn't you come read with me today? I was waiting for you. I was waiting for a long time. It was the only thing I had to look forward to today. Why did you ruin it? Do you like Yuri more? I think you're better off not associating with her. Are you listening to me? Yuri is a sick freak. That should be obvious by now, so just play with me instead, okay? You don't hate me, Milo, do you? Do you hate me? Oh, no. Do you want to make me go home crying? The club is the only place I feel safe. Don't ruin that for me. Don't ruin it. Please. Just stop talking to Yuri. Play with me instead. That's all I have. Play with me. Play with me. Oh, yes, man. Oh. Okay. That was very creepy. Alright, let's do this poem and call it a day. Hi again, Milo. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that, as long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright, great job, Milo. I was going, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imaginary symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing, though. But sometimes I get impressions that she just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must really starved for social interactions, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly, like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. We all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. All right. I need to keep my mouse away from that closet because I keep scaring myself. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. But anyway, you want to read my poem next? I'm terrified to. All right. I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Save me. The colors, they won't. Bright, beautiful colors, flashing, expanding, piercing, red, green, blue, an endless of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, gathering, screeching, piercing, tangent, like playing a chalkboard on a something, like playing a knife on the breathing rib cage. Endless poem of meaningless. Delete her. You're the one deleting people. Sorry, I know it's kind of abstract. She does this creepy thing, and she's like, I'm sorry about that. That's what she does, and I don't like it. I'm just trying to well, never mind. There's no point in explaining. Anyway, here's my tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. I'm going to save my game right now because you are saying that this exact moment. You never know when, whoa, what am I talking about? Can you hear me? Tell me you can hear me. Anything? I can hear you. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Yuri, help me. I've been waiting for this. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri smiles and takes a deep breath. I like just holding it. What? I mean, the poem turned out good. It's well, there are some things that you could work on, but that doesn't really matter. It feels like anything written by you is a treasure. That came out a little awkward. But let's move on. Here's the poem I wrote. You don't have to like it or anything. Please be so. Oh, that's so. Oh, okay, this is not a poem. I can read it. Wheel, a rotating wheel, turning an axle, grinding, bolt-headed, linger gearbox, falling sky, 7 holy stakes, a dock shipped, a portal to another world, a thin rope tied to a thick rope, a tour harness, parabolic gearbox, expanding universe, true controlled by slipping cogwheels, existence of God, swimming with open water in all directions, drowning, a prayer written in blood, a prayer written in time-devouring snakes with human eyes, a thread connecting all living human eyes, a kaleidoscope of holy stakes, exponential gearbox, the sky exploding stars, God disproving the existence of God. A wheel rotating in 6 dimensions, 40 gears and a ticking clock, a clock that ticks 1 second for every rotation of the planet. A clock that ticks 40 times every time it ticks every second time. The bolt head of holy stakes tied to the existence of a docked ship to another world. A kaleidoscope of blood written in clocks, a time-devouring prayer connecting to the sky of 40 gears and open human eyes in all directions. Breathing gearbox, breathing bolthead, breathing ship, breathing portal, breathing snakes, breathing God, breathing blood, breathing holy stakes, breathing human eyes, breathing time, breathing prayer, breathing sky, breathing will. I did it! Okay, what is wrong with you? It doesn't really matter what it's about. My mind has been a little hyperactive lately, so I had to take it out on the pen. That is, a pin fell out of your backpack yesterday, so I took it home for keepsake. You're being weird. You're taking my stuff and making a shrine of me, aren't you? I just really like the way that it writes, so I wrote this poem with it. And now you're touching it. You're being very awkward. I'm okay. What did I just say? Can we pretend this conversation never happened? You can keep the poem, though. Oh, no. Last time this happened. I'm scared to look at that dot. I don't want to look at the dot. Okay. I was scared if I looked at it too long, something would jump scare me, and I was not in the mood for that. Okay, everyone, we're all done reading each other's poems, right? We have something we need to go over today, so if everyone could just sit in front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? I'm terrified of you now. Stay away from me. It's not like we could put together anything good in just a few days. Well, we'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? Look, I know everyone's been a little more lively ever since Milo joined, and we've started some club activities. But this isn't the time for us to become compliant. We still only have 4 members, and the festival is our only real chance to find more, Sorry, I read that wrong. What's so great about getting new members anyway? We already have enough to be considered an official club. More members will just mean everything gets noisier and more difficult to manage. I don't think you're looking at it the right way at all. Don't you want to share your passion with as many people as you can? To inspire them and find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? The literature club could be a place where people can express themselves like they can't do anywhere else. It should be a place that you could never want to leave. I know you feel that way too. I know we all do. So that's why we should work hard to put something together for the festival, even if it's something small. Right, Milo? Oh, come on. You can't take advice from Milo to agree with you just because he doesn't know how to say no to anything. Look, Monica, do you really think any of us here joined the club with other people in mind? Yuri never even talked until Milo joined. As for me, I just like it better here than I do at home. And Milo isn't even passionate about literature in the first place. And that's everyone. Sorry, but you're really the one... Okay. You're really the one who's so interested in finding new members. The rest of us are fine like this. I know you're president and all, but you should really consider our opinions for once. Monica clearly taken aback. That's not true at all. I'm sure Yuri and Milo want to get more members too, right? I don't know about Yuri, but I'm kind of indifferent. If I showed as much enthusiasm as Monica wanted, then I would probably be lying. Still, if it's up to me to rescue the situation, no. In's right, isn't she? This club. It's nothing more than a place for a few people to hang out. Why did I think that everyone here saw the same way as I did? But that doesn't mean we're against getting new members or anything. Milo, why did you even join this club? What were you hoping to get out of it? Well, that's not really something I could be honest about, is it? In fact, if I remember, you weren't even given a choice not to join. Monica sits down and stares at her desk. What's the point of all this anyway? What if starting this club was a mistake? Now you've done it in. What, me? I just spoke my mind. Is it a crime to be honest? It's not about being honest. It's about word choice. Besides, you have no right to speak for everyone else in the club like that. You don't understand at all. I just want a place that feels nice to hang out with a few friends. Is there a problem with the club being that for me? There aren't many other places like that for me. And now Monica wants to take it away from me. She's not taking anything away. No, Milo. It's not the same. It won't be the same with the direction she wants to take it. If I wanted that, then I could have just joined any other stupid club. But this one, at least for a little bit of time, things were nice. In starts packing up her things. I'm going home. I feel like I don't belong here right now. In ignores Yuri and walks right out of the classroom. This is bad. I don't know what to do. Well, do you have an opinion on the festival? I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent, I guess. Who cares about that, brat? I like how nice and quiet the club is right now, and I'm just happy with you here, but still, I'm the vice president. It's not right for me to ignore the responsibilities like that. Nobody would cry. Oh! I'm sorry. Did your eyeball just burst? Are you okay? I should do my best to consider everyone's perspective and make the decision that's right for the club. But what about you, Milo? I'm scared to look at you. What do you want to get out of this club? Yuri repeats the same question as Monica. I decide to give an indirect answer better than nothing. I think the most important thing is that everyone to get along, and for the club to provide something that you can't get anywhere else. I don't think it's about how many members, but rather quality of each member. That's what will end up making the literature club a special place. I see. I really agree with you. Why is your eye bleeding? Your eye was bleeding. It's bleeding. Wasn't it bleeding? Every time I look at this screen, she's not bleeding. And whenever I was looking at this screen, she was bleeding. Am I going crazy now? Okay. Each member contributes their own qualities in this special way. I keep looking. There it is! With each change in members, the identity of each club as a whole will change too. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Stepping out of your comfort zone once in a while. So if you would like to help Monica with the festival, then I'm on your side as well. Alright. Well, maybe we could talk about it tomorrow. Yuri nods. Hey, Yuri? I know things were a little awkward yesterday, but I feel like you deserve to know that I still think you're a wonderful vice president. And also a wonderful friend. Monica, I want to do everything I can to make this the best club ever, okay? Me too. Yeah. Let's all go home for the day. We'll talk about the festival tomorrow. I'm scared. Okay. I look forward to it. Shall we go, Milo? Please don't take this the wrong way, but I'm going to chat a little bit with Milo before I don't want to talk to you. Just to see what he thinks of his time here and all that. It's important to me as president. Yuri looks a little troubled, but she doesn't protest. Okay. I trust your judgment, Monica. In that case, I'll see you two tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Monica waves as Yuri exits the room. Phew! Things have been a bit hectic lately, haven't they? Milo, I just wanted to make sure you're enjoying your time at this club. I would really hate to see you unhappy. I feel Is it getting darker? It is. Oh, here we go. Okay. I feel kind of like I'm responsible for that as president, and I really do care about you, you know. I don't like seeing other girls give you a hard time. With how mean In is and everything, and Yuri being a little bit, you know. Sometimes it feels like you and I are the only real people here. You know what I mean. But it's weird, because in all the time you've been here, we've hardly gotten to spend any time together. I guess it's technically only been a couple days. Sorry, I didn't mean to say anything weird. There are just some things I've been hoping to talk about with you. Things I know only you can understand. So that's why. Wait, no, not yet, no! The game. Okay. Alright. What if I make everything I'm gonna make everything negative this time on purpose. Anxiety. Misfortune. Bliss. Death. Existence. I don't want to be too dramatic. Broken. Defeated. Massacre. Depression. Lazy. Misery. She keeps jumping. She loves all this negative stuff. Captive. Tears. Scars. Alone. Oh, hey, wait, I wasn't paying attention to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. Maybe I didn't count right. Hi, old friend. Neighbor that doesn't exist. Okay, I'm sorry. I got up. There we go. I got sidetracked with everything. Sorry. This video ended up being 50 minutes. My bad. It was a very interesting portion of the game, I guess you could say. So, if you like it, thumbs up. If you hated it, dislike. If you want to leave a comment, go for it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Again, I never know how to end these recordings, so thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you watch the next one. Thank you.